Back in India, tech giants continue to lock horns with the government. Yesterday, we told you how Google had challenged India's IT rules. Now, WhatsApp has refused to alter its privacy policy. Those of you watching us from India would be aware that WhatsApp is trying to update its terms of service. It wants to share your data with its parent company, Facebook. And I'm sure all of you have been receiving notifications for this. Now, the government of India has been trying to stop WhatsApp from doing this. India also passed new laws to rein in tech companies. In response, WhatsApp took the government to court. It filed a lawsuit seeking to block new regulations. It said India's new rules are a violation of privacy rights. Its own murky policy on privacy notwithstanding. On Thursday afternoon, the matter reached the Delhi High Court. The government of India urged the court to issue an interim order, an order to stop WhatsApp from sending any more notifications. The government said, and I'm quoting here, WhatsApp is indulging in anti-user practices by obtaining trick consent from users for its updated privacy policy. It further added that millions of WhatsApp users who have not accepted the privacy policy are being bombarded with notifications on everyday basis. These notifications are against the very grain of prima facie opinion of the Competition Commission of India's order. How did WhatsApp respond? Here's a statement we received from their spokesperson. The recent update does not change the privacy of people's personal messages. Its purpose is to provide additional information about how people can interact with businesses if they choose to do so. We will not limit the functionality of how WhatsApp works in the coming weeks. Instead, we will continue to remind users from time to time about the update. That's exactly what the government has an issue with. These repeated notifications might trick the user to accept WhatsApp's new policy. Now, what happens if you accept the new policy? You're technically making your life an open book on the internet, letting WhatsApp, Facebook and Instagram collectively influence what you buy, where you eat, how you travel, what you post and perhaps even how you vote. And we've discussed this in detail on the show. Also, do these rules apply to everybody? Look at this map. The answer is yes, if you live in the countries marked in yellow, these rules apply to you. And no, if you live in countries marked in red. Why are these countries exempted? These countries have what's called the GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation. It's a law to protect the data of their people. 80 countries are said to have such a law. India is not one of them. In February, India unveiled new IT laws. And now there's a pushback from tech giants. And this has been the story in every country practically. In Australia, you remember, tech giants tried to hold the country to ransom and threatened a blackout. In Europe, they're engaged in legal cases and routinely slapped with fines. In America, they deplatformed a sitting president. They blocked Republican claims on the lab leak theory as misleading and false. And now a Democrat in the White House is pushing the same theory, and tech companies are happy to provide a platform. Do you see what's happening here? Tech companies wield too much power. They try to play above the law. They weaponize their platforms against voices and ideologies that they do not agree with. And let me give you the most recent example. It's from Nigeria. Twitter has removed a post by the president of Nigeria citing violation of rules. Muhammadu Buhari had put out a tweet on a spate of attacks on government offices by protesters. He referred to the Nigerian Civil War of 1970. He said those misbehaving today should be treated in the language they understand. Twitter removed the post and restricted Buhari's account, a president's account, to read-only mode. While we do not agree with what he said, he's still the sitting president. And the question is, will they even dare to do such a thing in an autocratic country like China? They won't. They will do the exact opposite. In 2019, and they don't even operate in China, by the way, right before the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre, Twitter suspended hundreds of accounts critical of the Chinese regime. When asked why, and you have to listen to this, why did they delete accounts which were critical of the Chinese regime? This is Twitter's response. It blamed an error in its program. Such is the hypocrisy. They claim to be intermediaries, platforms that ensure free and fair conversation, but time and again, they use editorial control to shape narratives, to play judge, to influence opinion through manipulative and selective censorship. Can tech giants be allowed to program our conversations? WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.